We've all experienced it. You meet someone new or maybe someone you vaguely know. You start with the usual hi and hello, then move on to the standard questions like, what do you do, or which team are you on? After a few exchanges, the conversation fades into that familiar, uncomfortable silence. I've been in that situation many times, not just at work, but in all kinds of social settings. Whether it's catching up with a distant cousin at a wedding after years or talking to a random person at a bar, it happens everywhere. But what if you could talk to anyone and never run out of things to say? The truth is, most of us deal with some level of social anxiety, which contributes to those awkward moments. The difference is just how intense it is for each person. Personally, I worked my way through it without any shortcuts, and over time I developed three simple methods that help me talk to anyone without feeling awkward. Well, most of the time. At first, I blamed myself. I thought I was just too shy, not confident enough, or socially awkward. But then I noticed something interesting. I wasn't like that around people I felt comfortable with. So I asked myself, what's really going on here? How can the same person act so differently depending on who they're with? That's when it clicked. It wasn't about having two personalities, and it wasn't even a confidence issue. It was a skill issue. I simply hadn't learned how to handle small talk. And just like learning an instrument or writing poetry, conversation is a skill you can improve with practice. After a lot of trial and error, and by observing people who were naturally good at conversations, I realized there are only three key things you need to speak smoothly with anyone and never run out of topics. The best part is, you can start using them right away. Let's say someone tells you, I'm going to play golf this weekend. You could respond with, oh, nice, and then let the silence take over. Or you could ask intentional follow-up questions like, where do you usually play? Or how long have you been playing? That can naturally lead to more questions like, do you play competitively? Or are you part of a club? Now you might not care about golf at all, and that's fine. What matters is that you're showing interest, or at least creating the impression that you are. This approach eliminates awkward pauses and gives you control over the conversation. When you think about it, a conversation is just a flow of questions and answers, and the person asking the questions usually guides where it goes. But to do this well, you need to ask the right questions, which brings us to the second method. A common belief is that to get better at talking, you need to talk more. But ironically, the opposite is true. You need to listen more, and not just casually, but actively. That means focusing completely on what the other person is saying instead of thinking about what you'll say next. It's easy for your mind to drift or start preparing your response too early, which often leads to replies that feel disconnected or off-topic. That's where awkwardness creeps in. But when you truly listen, you naturally come up with better questions and keep the conversation flowing in a more engaging way. There's a well-known idea that most people don't listen to understand. They listen to respond. Try not to be one of them. Finally, the real magic happens when you find common ground. People naturally connect when they share similar interests or experiences. Sometimes it's obvious, like both of you enjoying golf. Other times, it takes a bit more digging. But if you ask the right questions and stay curious, you'll almost always find something you both relate to. Once you do shift the conversation in that direction, that's when things start to feel natural, effortless, and genuinely enjoyable. Of course, not every conversation will go perfectly. There will still be moments of silence or interactions that don't lead anywhere, and that's completely normal. When that happens, don't panic. Just get comfortable with the silence. It's only temporary, and it will pass. But if you consistently apply these three methods more often than not, you'll be able to talk to anyone with ease and never feel stuck wondering what to say next.